out of Loveland, Colorado. It's my pleasure to be your host today on the Organo webinar call. This is my first call this morning or today, and I am extremely excited about getting the opportunity to serve the big team. So I'm going to be talking this morning on the art of the presentation. So for those of you that are brand new in the organization, I got to tell you, I'm so excited that we have this platform and we have the ability to learn how to present. 9 years ago when I got started in the business, we had a call where I had to listen and listen and listen every single day. And I'd listen to the leaders like Mr. Holtenbugs and Mr. Shane Moran present the information. And I would take notes every single day to teach myself how to present. One of the things that I know through the learning process is when you hear it, you tend to forget it. When you write it down, it becomes a little bit more, it sticks in your mind a little bit more. But guess what? Now, when you can hear it and you can see it at the same time, the retention goes way up. And the ability now to be able to do this with each and every one of us on the call so that you can learn how to present. So I might have a couple of little technical difficulties, but I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the call because I believe in being efficient, not eternal. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the information, you guys. And the first part of how do you do a mixer, or how do you present, okay? And I'm gonna talk about not necessarily a one-on-one presentation, but I'm gonna talk about when you present in front of a group. And the one thing that is extremely important when you do that is to be prepared. What do I mean by being prepared? In my home here, we've done a Tuesday night mixer every single day, every single Tuesday for the entire length of our Organo career. Over 9 years, ladies and gentlemen. I think we may have missed one or two because of a blizzard, and that would be the only reason why we would cancel a mixer. And even at that point, people showed up. They braved the elements to get here so that they could hear the information. But when I say be prepared, what does that mean? First of all, have your house cleaned up. These are things that sound very, very easy and you know, common sense type things. But, you know, creating an environment is important. You know, when you create the right kind of environment, your guests are going to be able to come in, feel very comfortable with the information, and they're going to sit there. They're going to have a nice, clean environment. It's going to have some music playing in the background, right? We call them, we used to call them coffee jazz mixers. So we have some nice, soft music playing in the background, just a little bit elevated in volume so that it would require people to speak a little bit louder. It brings the energy up in the room. Also, I prefer to have my hot water ready. Have your hot water ready. So when somebody gets there, you can instantly get them a cup of their favorite beverage and they don't have to wait for water to get hot. I also prefer to put the water and the coffee into a mug, into a ceramic cup, so that it just has a better feel of coffee rather than a styrofoam cup or a cup that's a disposable cup, so to speak. It's okay to do a little bit of dishes. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, to me, the coffee just tastes better when it's in a mug. Like my favorite beverage right here, drinking a black cup of coffee. We have some Organo cups just like this that we buy at events so that people get the entire feel of drinking an Organo cup of coffee. So I have the cups ready and we have the product ready, obviously the samples. Now, if you're attending a mixer from one of your upline leaders or your sponsor, do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, bring your own coffee for yourself and for your guest. The host is already hosting the event in their home. They're providing the cups and the water. Go ahead and bring a sample for yourself and a sample for your guests so that the host does not have to provide coffee for the entire group. In a mixer where there's 5 or 6 people, it's not that big a deal. But when you start having 20, 30, 40, 50 people at a mixer, it's not the host's responsibility to serve everybody a cup of coffee. Then what I would like to do is also recommend, depending on what part of the country you're in, and really in areas, make sure you have good water. You know, water is a very important ingredient in a cup of coffee. So if you have a place where you have very hard water, go ahead and get some bottled water, you guys. Go ahead and get some bottled water so that the water is pure, so that people can really experience the flavor of our coffee. Also, have the presentation queued up. What I mean by that is if you're going to show it on a big screen TV, go ahead and have it ready. Have your little remote control. There's going to be a couple of tools that you should probably go ahead and purchase if you're going to build a big business. One of those, which is a whiteboard. You're going to want to have a whiteboard ready so that you can do some training or some writing on the board to elaborate on the compensation plan. Mr. Bugs is showing an example, which I'm going to share with you here later on in our presentation here this morning. And you want to have that whiteboard ready. You want to have the presentation queued up on the big screen TV. You want to have that music playing in the background. Once we get started, recommend people in the introduction, which is a very important part, to turn their cell phones off. You're going to turn the music off, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want to start on time. You know, I think it was Mr. Edwin Haynes said this, and I believe in this philosophy that being early is being on time. And not so early, especially when you're going to somebody's home that you interrupt their dinner time or whatever, but a good solid 15 minutes early gives the host the ability to give you a cup of coffee, to get you set up in a chair, in a place, get you to be able to interact with the guest a little bit, visit a little bit, and then we start right on time. So being early is being on time. Being on time is actually being late. And obviously being late is unacceptable, right? That just shows disrespect to the host, because you want to get in and take care of the information in about 45 minutes. So this call here this morning, we're gonna do the training and the presentation in about 40 minutes. And that's about all the time that you need to really get the information across to your guests. What I'm going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to learn how to tell your story. The very first page of our presentation is tell the story. What does that mean? Learn how to tell your story. If you're presenting, tell your story. My story, former electrical contractor, 30 plus years as an electrical contractor working for myself. You guys, I worked with my father down in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He got ill, got sick. He ended up passing away. I started my own company, ladies and gentlemen. So I've essentially worked in a family-owned business for myself my entire life. And then due to an injury, now I couldn't perform my task as a contractor. I had 3 back surgeries. And so I tell my story to people because that's relatable. Your story may be different. Maybe you're a school teacher. Maybe you're an ex-professional athlete like Mr. Rod Smith. Maybe you're a businessman like Steve and Rhonda Martin, who own multiple business. Maybe you're a doctor like Dr. Robert Rakowski. Listen to those stories, you guys, and learn to craft your own story. Your story is powerful. This should take about 2 minutes. Okay, about 2 minutes of telling your story. This is also follows the introduction. Have one of your leaders, one of your up-and-coming VIPs or platinums or sapphires or rubies, introduce you, the guest speaker. This gives them the ability to practice being in front of the room, but it also sets the tone for the information. So when they get up there, they do the information, they do the introduction. That's going to take about 1.5 minutes. This is not a time to just drag on the introduction. You want to respect the time of the guests in there, but you want to set the stage for each and every person in there that an expert is coming to the front of the room to share the information with you. And that expert, ladies and gentlemen, can be you. You're the expert. It's your business. You're going to be able to present. And really all you have to do is get familiar with this information. How do you do that? It's very simple. You can watch the Zoom calls that have been going on, the Blitz calls that Mr. Holton Bugs has put together the last 10 days of March have absolutely been incredible. I've watched every single one of them. Many of them I've watched multiple times because you know what? I like to listen to other people present. I like the way Rod Smith might say something, or Holton Bugs might say something, or Casey Nielsen Martin might say something, or Edwin Haynes might say something. You know, the thing about it is, you guys, is you're going to glean the information to fit your style. And it's okay to do a little R&D in this business. And like Mr. Rod Smith says, it's rob and duplicate. If you like a phrase that I say, or if you like a phrase that Holton says, or you like a phrase that one of the other leaders might say during his presentation, then go ahead and take that and use that in your presentation. So let's go ahead and get started with the presentation, right? You tell your story. Very important to tell your story. We move on to the very next slide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is when you start to really add value to the conversation. It's important to understand that when you do a presentation, your goal is not to sign everybody up in the room. Now, that would be great, and you know what, there's many times where that happens, but what your goal is to do is to educate people in the room on a business model that works and on a product that works, and to add value to the information that you're giving them. And what this does is it gives the individual in the room the ability to make a decision based on that information. So just ask people the question. You know, these slides are put together by our corporate team in an incredible way to promote thought, to interrupt that conscious thought process. How many people in the room would like to save money, live healthier, and earn extra income? Every single person in the room is going to answer yes to those questions. So you can just literally read that slide, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be standing up. You're going to change the flexion in your voice. You're going to be excited. But I like to preface that with, be excited, but not dingy, right? You're not going to be giddy, and just be excited, be confident, just express the confidence in the information that you're giving them, because it sets the tone in the room and it brings that energy up and keeps that energy at an all-time high. Then tell a couple of facts about coffee. You know, this slide here, you guys, has been part of our OG business presentation for as long as I can remember. It talks about the most consumed beverage in the world next to water, which is coffee, right? One of the most consumed beverages on the entire planet. How many cups are served each and every day? 1.6 billion cups. You know, I had actually somebody that broke that down. It's about 18,000 cups a second. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So your guest in the room may not realize how big coffee is. It's consumed all over the world. This is a great place to maybe add a catchphrase of Mr. Warren Buffett, right? Holton Bugs uses this phrase all the time. He says, you know, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the entire world, he says, what you like to do, right, make it a hobby. But what the world likes to do, make it your business. Because you're going to present the information to some people who don't drink coffee. You guys realize that Mr. Holton Bugs, your CBO, did not drink coffee when he started in Organo. Mr. Rod Smith, our personal upline diamond, you guys, he did not drink coffee when he got started in this business, but he understood business. We now have a complement of products, which we'll go over here in a little bit, to make sure that nobody's left out, right? We have a product literally for everybody. You can see that little display over my right shoulder in the back. You know, when you do a mixer at your home, have the products on display. Some people have never seen what our black coffee looks like, how it's packaged, what the OGX Phoenix looks like. You know, you're going to want to be able to have people touch it. You're going to want to have people lift it up and look at it. But so have a nice display in the process. Maybe you might have it up in front of you where you're doing the presentation. It might be back in the kitchen area or off to the side in the dining room while people are meandering and looking around and just kind of being curious about our product. But as you talk about the information, as you talk about coffee, we lead with coffee, you guys, because coffee is consumed by 75%, I believe, of people in the entire world. Say a few things about it. Talk about the ingredient. This is the power, you guys. This is the magic. You know, Mr. Shane Moran talks about the magic of Ganoderma. We want to talk about the magic of Ganoderma because many people, myself, I never heard of this herb before. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it did. Why did they put it in our coffee? Talk about it. How do you learn about it? Learn about the product call right here that was done by Dr. Robert Rakowski, Miss Marianne Noe. You guys, two healthcare practitioners that have spent the majority of their adult life helping people get healthy. They've laid out what this herb does inside the body. A couple of facts that are right there on the page. There's thousands and thousands of years of history. Go ahead and just read the bullet points. If you get nervous, read the bullet points, right? If you forget while you're looking at the crowd, there's people sitting on your couch, they're staring at you, you have a big screen TV behind you with this information loaded up. If you freeze up, just turn around and just start reading. The information will come right back to you. It's featured in ancient modern texts such as the American Herbal Pharmacopoeia. You know, those are powerful phrases, especially for somebody who wants to know, is this real? Absolutely, it's real. There's thousands and thousands of years of history. But what does it do to the body? We like to have a insert. We inserted this into our presentation. It's a picture of a swimming pool, right? How many of you would dive into that pool? It's on my left, be on your left in the screen, that looks kind of murky and green and brown and algae in it. You guys, that is simply a picture of a swimming pool that has not been taken care of. Maybe it's coming out of the winter months. Maybe it's just somebody purchased that home and the pool hadn't been turned on. What do you have to do to make that pool turn the color on the right, where somebody willing to swim in it? You have to shock that water. You have to get rid of the bacteria that is formulated in that water. You have to filter that water. You have to do all kinds of treatments to that water so that it's not going to be a place where disease can get on your skin, right? Well, nobody that I know of would jump in that pool on the left. Everybody I know would be totally happy getting in the pool on the right. You guys, those are the picture of the same exact swimming pool. If you think about this, this is what Ganoderma does in your body. Explain this to the people that are in your meeting. Ganoderma goes in, literally starts to alkalize the body. The pool on the left is very acidic, right? It attracts bacteria, it attracts disease, it attracts even odor. That water probably does not smell very well, right? Well, the pool on the right, guess what that is? That is a alkalized pool. That is a pool that does not have that bacteria in it any longer because of the chemicals that it is. Well, we can't shock the body with chlorine, right? That's not going to be healthy, right? Could even be fatal. But we can start introducing Ganoderma, and Ganoderma starts to alkalize the body, starts to raise the oxygen content in the system. Let your guests know that this is what's happening, because you know what? Mr. Holtenbug says it the best. You guys, we are swimming pools wrapped in flesh. The human body consists of about 75% water. And you know what? I've heard that the brain itself is upwards of 80 to 85% water. What happens if the water on the left is circulating through your system? You see, we don't see it because we're wrapped in flesh, but that's when people get sick. They get ill. We have been born into a toxic world. Whether we like it or not, our very first breath was toxic air. We start to put toxic chemicals, lotions and shampoos and soaps on our body. Guess what? We eat toxic food that has been treated. You know, there's no way around ingesting some of those toxins into our system, but how many times do we clean our pool? How many times? You know, during the pool season, that pool gets treated every single day. Every single day. This is where we might want to introduce people and just talk about some of our detox, right? Our detox tea, you know, at cellular level takes and changes the pool on the left into the pool on the right inside your system. Well, what happens with your system when those toxicities inside your body? These are two beautiful women, you guys, that OGX testimonials. I can tell you, you know, their skin, guess what? This is just the toxins in their body trying to get out. The skin is the largest organ on your body. With a very short period of time on our incredible product, look at the beautiful skin on the right. Went from one to the other, and all they changed, to my knowledge, was introducing Ganoderma into their body through our black coffee and maybe our soap. This is a powerful, powerful picture. Before and after photos, I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be key to your business. Why? Because it has emotional impact. There's not a single person around that I know of who hasn't experienced acne breakout, or knows somebody who has, or maybe has a loved one who has eczema or psoriasis or some other skin issue. What if This is the million-dollar question. This should be asked several times within your presentation. What if what I'm saying is true? What if half of what I'm saying is true? Introduce that question into the ear of your guest. What if through changing your brand of coffee or tea or hot chocolate, changing your soap, brushing your teeth with our toothpaste, what if it can start clearing that pool? Go back to that pool analogy. Guys, that picture is burned in their memory. They understand it. That makes sense to them. And we can take it from a toxic environment into an alkalized, oxygenated environment. Just what if? And look what happened. You turn a toxic skin into a beautiful, smooth, glowing skin. Guess what? We've also gone into the weight management, you guys. One of the things we know of that 40% of the world's population, it says so right on the slide, is either overweight or obese. I've heard numbers upwards of 60+% here in the United States where people are overweight and really considered obese. You guys, that's a big problem. And you can tell people in your room, that's a huge problem, right? No pun intended. Put a little humor into your presentation. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to have fun. You don't want to just be monotone where everybody's falling asleep, right? You want to have and create emotional impact. I was talking with Mr. Bugs just this past week. I had the pleasure of spending 4 or 5 days with him, you guys, over the course of, I guess it seemed like 4 or 5 days. It was like 3 days, 4 days. And we talked about sportscasters always trying to keep the level of the TV show this high. Well, guess what? If it's always this high, at that point, it just becomes higher level of noise. When you bring the crowd in and out with the flexion of your voice, with talking about it, and then the impact of a picture, the impact of a phrase, you guys, that's incredible. You know, Mr. Rod Smith said something the other day on one of the Zoom calls. I believe it was the first Zoom call that he did. He did a couple of them. He talked about here in America. You guys, this is a phrase that I wrote down. He said, here in America, the money is not in the cure. He's talking about the pharmaceutical companies. He also says we're not putting any pharmaceutical company down, but when you recognize the money is not in the cure, the money is in the treatment, because the treatment goes over and over and over and over again. If you can cure something, there's no more treatment necessary. Well, guess what Ganoderma does? Ganoderma goes in and starts to treat you. Guess what? That keeps sickness and illness from even entering into the body. Absolutely incredible. The weight management solution, you guys, texture. Texture is key. Taste is key. Years, I believe it was over 2 years in the laboratory, OGX, Mr. Bernie Chua spent perfecting our OGX Phoenix. And if you guys haven't tasted it before, Mr. Holton Buggs says it tastes like liquid birthday cake. Tastes like a Frosty from Wendy's or chocolate. 2 flavors, you guys, but hundreds and hundreds of combinations. I love a smoothie with strawberries and bananas and peaches and berries and all the different fruits. You can add them in there, you guys. You can literally make hundreds of combinations of our shake. Why is that important? It never gets boring. And once people lose the weight, they will continue to replace a meal with our OGX. Absolutely incredible. And guess what that does? That helps you create a customer that is going to use your products longer. But the guest in the room, they need to hear that. They even need to taste it. If they haven't tasted it, make them a shake so that they can taste it. Before and after pictures are incredible. You guys, Miss Nikki Idetta, I can tell you guys, this picture right here, it says how many pounds she has lost. But guess what was more important? The picture on the left, she was a size 16, I believe. The picture on the right, she's a size 0. Now, even as a man, I don't know the difference between a 16 and a 0, but it's a big difference, right? Women, you know when you go from a 16 to a 12 or a 10 or 8, but 16 to a 0, my goodness, that is powerful. That is going to get people's attention. Mr. Jeremy Hall on the right. You know, Mr. Holton Buggs jokes about it. How many of you guys out there have a soccer ball? Guess what? Look at Jeremy right here. That's that little soccer ball. Look over here, you guys. Look at the definition, not only in his abdominal area, but his chest, just getting rid of the fat. Look at the neck and the face. You guys, this is huge because people want to have a good-looking body. They want to feel better. You know, Josie, I got to meet this incredible woman up in in Utah. She's lost even more weight than that. Vern looks incredible. You guys, what's going to happen? Well, every one of us knows some people. If you'll notice these pictures too, they're all different. They're different ethnic backgrounds. There's male and female, because you're going to relate to a wider variety of people when you give them a wider variety of pictures. Our products, you guys, these are the ones you're going to have on your table, on your kitchen table, on the coffee table, next to the presentation, so people can actually touch them. They can look at them. Many of them, people are going to turn and look at the ingredients. Absolutely incredible. They're going to see the certifications that we have. Certifications, talk about it. It's important, you guys. This right here, patent, right? I don't know the patent number. I just know patents aren't easy to get. $240 million Gano Urban Industrial Park. You guys, this is up and running. Your company has invested millions of dollars to bring you the highest quality product that exists on the planet. 100% certified organic Ganoderma, you guys. Let your people in the room know this. They got to understand that Mr. Bernie Chua doesn't skimp on anything. And then talk about the leadership. Nothing in the world that is successful gets there without great leadership. You guys, you can go one sports team after the other. Guess what? If they're champions, they got great leaders. They got great coaches. Mr. Bernie Chua has spent his life just studying the herb Ganoderma. He's figured out how to infuse it into beverages where you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it. You get all the benefits from it. That's incredible. Mr. Shea Moran, our global master distributor, you guys, he's expanded your company. This is important to talk to your guests. It's you. It's it's not I. It's not I did this or I did that or I earned this or I earned that. It's, can you imagine what you guys can do with some extra income? Can you imagine how good you would feel with your health? Can you imagine your loved ones benefiting from this product? You see, you guys, you got to put it into the guest's hands. You got to let them know that Bernie Chua has created a product that is good for them, bringing the treasure of the earth to the people of the world. Mr. Shea Moran has taken it global, our global master distributor. And guess what? They needed someone to help them sell it. That's Mr. Holton Bugs, your chief visionary officer. I can tell you guys, this man is on a mission. He has, he said something when I was up in Minnesota on Thursday that just, it blew my mind. In the last 10 years in the industry of network marketing, there's not a single person on the planet who has earned more income than Mr. Holton Bugs. And guess what? He has the same product as you. He has the same compensation plan as you. He's a distributor, you guys. Yes, he's our chief visionary officer. He has given his time, his energy, his efforts, his knowledge to the company so that the company can get better. But you know what? Deep down inside, you guys, he's a distributor just like you and just like me. Talk about our leadership. Give people the confidence that they can follow some incredible leaders. Think and Grow Rich, you can talk about that collaboration. It's a one and only. Our OG Cares Foundation. I personally love to be part of a company that gives back. But how do we make some money? How do we make some money in Organo, you guys? There's going to be 4 types of people in the room. Let them know who they are. This gives people the ability to make a choice. We're not here, remember, we're not here to convince anybody. We're here to educate them. We're here to give them 1 degree of information. You know, Mr. Holton Bugs starts many of his presentations now with 2 different circles. He calls it our reality circle and our dream circle. And the space in between them, you guys, is the distance that keeps them from ever coming together. Well, these 4 types of people, you're going to have a no-no person. The no-no person is the person that no to the product, no to the opportunity. That's okay. There's 1 or 2 of them that may be in the room at any one time. We give them permission to be a no-no person. But we're going to have a number 2 person. We're going to have a yes to the product and a no to the opportunity. You guys, these are your customers. Yes, I want this product in my body. Yes, I want this product in my children's body, in my parents' body, in my family's body. But you know what? I'm okay right now. I'm good. I don't need the opportunity at the moment. That's key because they may later. I know we have a little bit of background noise. I don't know where that's coming from. I apologize. But then we're going to have a number 3 person, you guys. This is going to be the majority of the people in the room. Let them know that. Let your guests know that the majority of the people in the room are going to be what we call our little yes, little yes. What does that mean? Yes to the product. I need it in my body, my family's body. And yes to the opportunity. I want to earn a little bit of extra money. Maybe an extra $100 or $200 per week. An extra $1,000 a month would just change their life. You guys, this is going to be the majority of the people. There may be some people that want to supplement their income. They need a little help eliminating some debt. This is going to be the majority of the people. And then you're going to have your big yes, big yes. Yes to the product, yes to the opportunity. Let people know. There's probably 1 or 2 of you that might fall into this category, and you're going to know your number. When I'm done presenting the information, let the person who invited you know which number you are, okay? So how will we make some money in Organo? The first way is retail. Basic business 101, right? You buy at wholesale, you sell at retail, you get to keep the profits. So what do the profits look like in Organo? You guys, based on this example, do you think it's reasonable? Our steps from day one, when Mr. Holtenbugs taught me these steps 9 years ago, he said, acquire 10 serviceable customers. Remember, these are your number 2s. They're the people that may not want anything to do with the business, but they want the product. That's perfect. That's your customer base. You're going to have a number of those. Actually, over the years, it's about 2 out of 5 people that come in and see the information will be your customers. 1 is going to join your business. The other 2, they're good for now, right? So you have a 60% chance of getting a customer or a distributor. Acquire 10 serviceable customers. Is this reasonable? Ask them. Ask the people in the room. Ask yourself, can I get my mom? Can I get my sisters and brothers? Can I get my neighbors or people I worship with at church? Can I get them to be my customer for 30 days and just change their brand? We're not changing their budget. We're just changing their brand of coffee, and then we're asking them those questions. Tell me how you like the way it tastes and how it makes you feel. Everybody I've ever introduced this business to, guess what? They say, of course I can find 10 people. Great. Well, the average customer, based on this example, if they buy 2 units of product, 2 units, you're going to move 20 units of product your very first 30 days. This is your assignment, if you will, for 30 days. We have many people do this within their first 2 or 3 days, within their first week. But let's just say it takes you a whole month to gather 10 customers. They purchase 2 units each. You sell 20 units of product. That's going to be some black, latte, mocha, some shakes, any one of our combination of products. If you average $15 profit, you just created a $300 increase in your income for the month. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know a single person who couldn't use an extra $300. But here's the beautiful part, because we have consumable products, right? They start to feel better. Their skin starts to clear up. They start to sleep better. Their energy levels go up. Whatever the Ganoderma does to them, whatever they experience, guess what they're going to do next month? They're going to buy those 2 units again. And then next month. Over the course of the next 12 months, you've created a $3,600 a year raise. But what happens if you just do nothing else but gather customers for the next 4 months? April, May, June, July. You have 40 customers, the same numbers, 2 units per customer. Guess what? $300 for every 10, that's $1,200 per month that you've created just on the retail aspect of this business. Don't forsake the retail aspect, you guys. There's a lot of money in it. How many of you could use an extra $14,000 a year? What we realize is the retention rate with our customer base is very high because people feel better. They look better. And guess what? Now you've created an income just on the retail aspect of it that is pretty significant. Right? That's going to help pay the mortgage. That's going to help send a child to college. That's going to buy you a new car. Maybe take that vacation that you've been wanting to take for the last 10 years. Put that in that guest hand. Because there's a guest in there that has a child getting ready to go to college. There's a guest in there that hasn't been on a vacation in years. There's a guest in there whose car is about to break down, right? There's a guest in there that is struggling to pay their mortgage every single month. Make sure you put this money in your guest pocket. You guys, here's the thing about it, the residual aspect of it. The residual aspect of this business is powerful. The fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh way we get paid. How do you put this money in people's pocket? We have an 18-month plan. 18-month plan. In the next 6 months, so between 1 and 6 months, can you find, ladies and gentlemen, can you find 10 business partners? What happens when you find those 10 business partners? We have a fast start bonus that is going to pay you every time someone joins your business, up to $130. This is the second way that we get paid. It's called our fast start bonus. You guys, you can start earning income by referring people into the business. Within your next 6 to 12 months, can you teach those 10 people to do exactly what you did? You see, make it easy, make it simple. Nobody has to be an overachiever in this business. Do your part. Get your 10 customers and help find 10 people in a 6-month time frame, ladies and gentlemen, 10 business partners that will commit to do the same thing. Can you do that? And can you teach them to do that? Because in the next 12 to 18 months, a year to a year and a half, you will now have 1,000 new business partners. 1,000 new business partners. Well, guess what? If those 1,000 business partners got their 10 customers, you now have a total of 10,000 customers in your organization. You're only servicing 10 of those, but there's 10,000 of them buying product month after month after month. If we use that same 2-unit average based on this example, that's 20,000 units of product moving through your business on the 18th month. Anywhere in this 12th to 18th month, you now have 20,000 units of product that are moving through your business. The average box of black right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here, a box of black coffee is worth 15 points. Grab a box of black coffee, show them. This is worth 15 commissionable volume points. It has a cash value of $15. Guess what? A point is worth about $1 in the United States. I don't know how many pesos a point is. I don't know how many yens or ringgits, because remember, we're in multiple countries, but in the United States, a point is worth approximately $1. So 15 commissionable volume points times 20,000 units of product is $300,000 in revenue flowing through your business. Ladies and gentlemen, in Organo, on that 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th way we get paid, the residual component of what we have in Organo will pay you about 3 to 7%. Okay, let's just say it's right in the middle at 5%. 5% of $300,000 is an extra $15,000 per month. Based on this example right here, with a little bit of work, doing a mixer, presenting the information, presenting the product, not only are you going to gather your 10 customers, but you're going to gather those 10 business partners. And you're going to be able to duplicate the process. And what happens? What happens? What if? Remember that question. What if this happens? What if? It can be way more than that, you guys. It can be way more than that. But what if you do this exactly the way it's laid out, and you create a residual income of an extra $15,000 per month? You guys, this is where retirement happens. This is where retirement happens, because retirement does not have anything to do with age. Here in the United States, we say you can retire at 65. That's nothing more than the age that you are eligible to receive your Social Security check, right? That's all that is. Doesn't mean you can retire, because there's many people that reach that age that never get to retire. They have to go back, because the average Social Security check, I've been told, is about approximately $800 per month. We've just showed somebody in a matter of 18 months how they can create a residual check. What if it took you 18 months? What if it took you 2 years? And now you have a residual income month after month. You guys, that's the power of the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th ways that we get paid. Expo, you guys, this is a very important thing. Start promoting Expo at your events. Remember, I'm not doing a presentation for the people on the line right now. I'm teaching you how to do a presentation. You're going to want to promote Expo. 10 years, you guys, 10th anniversary. I get excited about I can't even wait to see what Bernie Chua, Shane Moran, Holta Bugs have in store for us in September in Las Vegas at Expo. I can promise you, every single person on this line right now, even if you get started today, guess what? You can have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 legs of business at Expo. You have 6 legs of business, different legs of business. That means your business partner. If you have those 10 legs of business at Expo, ladies and gentlemen, I can promise you your income will change. It's going to be excited. And I personally believe that Expo is going to sell out. 10 years, upwards of 40 or 50 countries will be here represented at Expo in Las Vegas in September. You want to get your tickets. You want to get your tickets now. They're on sale right now. You want to plant that seed in your new distributor's mind, in your old distributor's mind, right? You want to plant that seed that Expo is going to be absolutely incredible. How do you get started? $49.95. You guys, it's a distributor kit. Remember those numbers we talked about? This is probably a number 2. If you're going to get the product, you want to at least get it at wholesale. You want to buy it the least expensive way. It's kind of like a Costco membership or a Sam's Club membership. You get access to all of your purchases at wholesale. So if you're a number 2, you're going to want to get started here. Also, our number 2s, we have some product packages. We have a bronze pack. This might be a number 2 as well, because you get that $49, you don't get any product, you get access to the purchases. So why not start yourself with a complement of our products? You get a bag of our shakes, you get some black, some latte, some mocha, hot chocolate, a little bit of our tea. And guess what? Now you can start consuming these products at wholesale and you don't have to worry about it. And oh, by the way, if somebody wants to buy one, you at least have something to sell them. Right? So this is our number 2, you guys. Our number 2 is going to be our $49 pack and probably a bronze pack. If you're a number 3, remember 50% of the people in the room are on number 3. Guess what? This is a great package to choose from. If you're just an average 3, you're going to want to be a silver pack. Why? Because it gives you product to consume. You want to have some product that you can consume yourself. You're going to want to have some product that you can sell. You can now start to be profitable. And the team dynamic of our compensation plan allows you to earn up to $1,500 per week, a 15% commission in our dual team structure. You guys, that's a 50% raise from the bronze pack. The bronze pack is a 10% commission, and now you get a 50% raise. So this is really for our number 3s. If you're a strong 3 and a 4, then I highly encourage you to get our gold pack. You guys, our gold pack, the bronze pack is $250. The silver pack is $450, and our gold pack, $1,250. What does that mean? Okay, that gives you enough product. It gives you a complement of more of our product, and you can now not only consume them, but you can be profitable much faster. And it also gives you a 100% raise over the bronze pack, from 10% to 20%, from $500 a week to $2,500 a week. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine? Start thinking about the people that you know who drink coffee or tea at least occasionally. Start thinking about the people you know who would like to earn an extra $1,000 per month. Share this information with them. Share this product. Start building that customer base as well as that distributor base. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, your income will change. We always talk about the 4 steps, the simplicity of the 4 steps, you guys. I'm about 2 minutes over in our call right now. So I just want you guys to know that doing a presentation is actually quite simple. The biggest thing is the fear of doing it, right? There's no reason why each and every one of us can't become an expert, because there are right now recorded presentations from the Blitz call the last 10 days of March. You can go on Organo Gold Academy, OGA. It's in your back office, you guys. You can see the recordings. Get familiar with the information. Watch people. Watch their mannerisms. Attend a mixer in your market. Follow Mr. Holton Bugs around, you guys. He came here to Colorado, absolutely incredible. I went to Salt Lake City, Utah, watched him present. Went to Minneapolis, Minnesota, watched him present. He's on tour. He's going to be in Houston. He's going to be in California. He's going to be in Dallas. You guys, find out where Mr. Bugs is going to be. If he's within 500 miles or 1,000 miles of you, I would encourage you to go watch him. Feel the energy. Listen to the verbiage. Get to be a master at sharing the information with each and every one of the guests and your team members. Lead by example. Lead by example, you guys. Go ahead and learn the information. This is the easiest business that I've ever done. And what I mean by that is you don't have to study for 3 or 4 or 5 years in school to get a certificate or a diploma to go out and now apply your craft. You literally can learn it in 40 minutes and then listen to it again and listen to it again and listen to it again. Go ahead and emulate someone that resonates with you. It might be a Marianne Knowles. It might be a Sam Bean. It might be an Edwin Haynes or a Casey or myself or Rod Smith or Mr. Holton Bugs, right? You guys, there's so many presenters, so many incredible diamonds. It's in multiple languages. I tell you what, Mr. Cesar Munoz is one of the most passionate people I've ever seen. And if you speak Spanish, I can tell you, listen to Cesar, listen to Mr. John Secturas, Mr. Jose Ardon. You guys, there's really no excuse for not understanding the ability to present and then make it an art form, your art form. You can't be a Mr. Holton Bugs. None of us can, but you can be the best you that you can be. Go ahead and just apply some of these simple principles. The best way to learn is to do. Don't worry about making mistakes. We all make mistakes, but guess what? It's fun. It's fun. You get to share your passion. Be passionate about it. Be excited about it. Get yourself a whiteboard. Get yourself a computer and download the presentation. Add a few before and after pictures. Show them on your phone. If you don't have them in you and can't implement them into your presentation on your screen, have an iPad. Holton Bugs walks around with an iPad, and he shows pictures as he's presenting in a large group of people. You guys, there is incredible amounts of tools available for each and every one of you to become a master at presenting. I appreciate each and every one of you sharing your time here. If anybody has any questions, I would enjoy answering any questions. But for the sake of time right now, I would like to just thank each and every person. Thank Edward on the back line. You guys, these Zoom calls, get yourself a Zoom account. That's a hint. Get yourself a Zoom account. Be prepared to receive information through Zoom. Go ahead and navigate around your back office, right? Learn some of those impact phrases, right? Before and after pictures, very impactful. Tell a relevant story to your audience. Know your audience. Know who's in your audience so that you can impact them emotionally with a story that might relate to them, right? If I could, would you? Learn that phrase. If I could show you a way to earn some extra money, would you be willing to be at my house at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night to hear some information, to share some product? If I could show you a way to lose a few pounds, if I could show you a way to maybe take care of that skin issue or that rash, if I could show you a way to perhaps increase your energy level, would you? And then fill in the blank. Would you be willing to buy a box or two of coffee? Would you support me in my business? Simple phrases, but activity, action is going to make them work. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. I appreciate each and every one of you sharing the information with me this morning. God bless and have a great day.